Now to the story of Mark Reilly and the lessons that might be learned and how we treat mental illness in this country. Mark first developed mental health issues in his 60s, shortly before he died by suicide in the Acute mental health unit of Cork University Hospital. Well, today his widow Nancy was awarded damages and an apology from the HSE in relation to Mark's care. Our reporter Paul Murphy spoke to Nancy earlier today, and I would warn you that some parts of this interview may be distressing.
Everyone thinks that their spouse is unique, but he was unique. From the day we got married, he was just the happiest, outgoing person you would ever want to meet. We were always kind of like teenagers still. We loved each other so much. He gave up a very successful career in software, ended up in the third world with me, working for various NGOs. We went to Southeast Asia on holiday, and we saw a lot of the devastation that the United States had left behind from the Vietnam War, and we just felt we needed to do something about it. So we started out in Cambodia, both of us as English teachers, and then we went to Laos and helped run a school. We were both vegetarian, very healthy eaters, exercised every day. He was just a remarkable person in every aspect. And one of the things I didn't...
no mental health problems?
No mental health problems obviously something was wrong. Obviously something was broken that I did not recognize, but nothing manifested itself to me.
Then, in late 2021, Mark suddenly began to change.
So on December 27th, he told me he was really concerned because he hadn't done a change of address for the American IRS, the tax system, for me. And he thought he had done something wrong. And I poo-pooed it, said it was no big deal. But he began obsessing on that and building it up in his mind to the point where he started to believe that the federal government was going to come to Ireland and take him back to America and put him in prison. He began having night terrors. He would wake up around 2:30 in the morning and have about an hour where he was just absolutely petrified, which is one of the things I brought out with the hospital. He was under the constant care of our local doctor, who was doing the best she could to deal with it, and he was seeing a therapist. I took him to the bus stop, and I put him on the bus to go see his therapist. As soon as I left, he got off the bus. Now, Mark, when he was 28, gave up all forms of alcohol. So he did something completely out of character. He went down to the liquor store and he bought a bottle of something. The police, and particularly the band police, who were very helpful, they were out searching for him from probably about 4:30 in the afternoon to about 11 o'clock that night, when they found him and they had to arrest him for his own safety.
On the 16th of March 2022, just 2.5 months after his mental health problems began, Mark was admitted to Cork University Hospital's Acute mental health unit.
He tested positive for COVID, so they isolated him in a room by himself, which was not the best thing that could have happened. They obviously, when they admitted him, they took his belt and belt and buckle and all of that, and his shoelaces away from him.
2 days after his hospitalization, late at night, Mark phoned his wife.
At about 11:30 that night, he called me and he said, "Nancy, I feel like myself again." He says, "I don't know what's been going on, but I'm okay. I'm really okay." And it was the first night in really 2.5 months that I slept. But then about 3 o'clock in the morning, my doorbell rang. Part of me couldn't go down the stairs fast enough, and part of me didn't want to go down the stairs. The feeling of dread that I had, because I just knew what had happened. And I opened the door and the guard are there. And they asked if they could come in, and I said, no, you can't come in. Because if I didn't let them come in, it wouldn't be real. And they asked me again, they said, we really need to come in, Nancy. We really need to come in. And I kept telling them, no, they couldn't come in.
Mark had taken his own life. Although he had been suicidal and in an acute mental health unit, somehow he had found a belt that he used to end his life. Today, as part of a settlement, a written apology from Cork University Hospital was read out in the High Court in Dublin. Since Mark's death, the apology said, significant infrastructural works have been undertaken within CUH's acute mental health unit to strengthen the overall care environment. Unfortunately, a potential ligature point had not been identified, and this was a failure on the part of the HSE. For Nancy, questions still remain about how her husband of 37 years died in a place where he went to heal.
Why was he on his own in the middle of the night when I had already told him that he was suffering from night terrors at 2:30 in the morning? How was he wandering around enough on his own that he was able to get a hold of a belt and a buckle?
You put him in CUH because...
Safe, secure. I believed he would be okay, that they would take care of him. And I think they did the best they could. CUH, there's just not enough mental health professionals. I took that case because I want to see improvements. Mark and I purposefully chose this country to live in. I can't help Mark, he's gone. But Mark would never forgive me if I just had let this lay to rest. I have a responsibility to people here in Ireland to try to help bring about change in some little way. If Mark died and then other lives are saved out of this, then that is consolation, isn't it? It is for me.
That report from Paul Murphy. HSE Southwest told Primetime that it offers its sincere condolences to the family and friends of Mark Reilly on their tragic loss, particularly his wife Nancy, and said, "We acknowledge the very regrettable shortcomings in his care and we apologise sincerely to Mrs Reilly. We would like to reassure Mrs Reilly and the public that reforms have been identified arising from this tragic incident and changes have been made." And if you've been affected by anything in this story, helplines are available at rte.ie/helplines.